I think we'd all agree that one of the problems with small portable cameras, specifically point and shoot cameras, is that the audio sounds like crap. But what if there was an easier, more efficient, and very affordable way to get audio like this? Audio that sounds clean, consistent, and no matter where I stand, no matter how I set framing, I don't have to worry about where the camera is to get me this kind of audio. Well, hello my friends, I hope you're doing fantastic. I know it's been just a really crazy last couple of weeks, and my YouTube upload schedule has been let's say lackluster. But I'm really hoping to do a lot more. I'm really excited about some new things that I'm hoping to do differently in 2019, as I've talked about. And I'm just excited, but I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. This is a unique part of the season because this is the first time that we're kind of finishing up weddings, but we have other work that we're doing. But obviously it naturally is a slower season, which is okay, but it's trying to make the most productive use of the time that we have. I think what's really easy for us to do, and Pablo and I have talked about this, is just when you don't have anything going on specifically, like you have to finish this today, what do you do with your time? And we're trying to get better at making sure that there's always something we can be doing, because realistically there should be. If you're trying to build a business or you're trying to do anything that you're hoping to achieve big results with, there should never be anything considered free time, because realistically there's always something you can be doing to further what you're trying to do in your company or anyone that you're working for in general. There should always be opportunities that you can kind of reach for and utilize the time wisely. It's really easy to use the excuse that you're really busy, so you're not able to do certain things that you've been wanting to do for a while, but then it's also really easy when you actually get the time to do it to say to yourself, I just want some time to relax. And you should really be always pursuing and working hard at what you're trying to grow, or else you're gonna eventually keep using the excuse that you're too busy when you are busy. And if we're honest, all of us waste a lot of time on a lot of different things. It's funny as like video content creators, how we can sell to a company and say video is so effective and you should do it and you should produce lots of content for your company and you should do this and you should do this, and yet we don't produce any of it ourselves. And so I think it's really cool to realize that if you follow my channel because you're a video creator and that's what you do for a living, that you should never have any time that you're just sitting around. You should be creating as much stuff for yourself as possible. Not only does it make you better, it makes you better at filming and editing more often, it also shows that you actually believe in what you're teaching and trying to preach to companies. Don't tell a company that you think video is an effective way to market and to tell their story if you're not actually creating videos yourself to market and tell your story. You get the chance to do it for free when other companies have to pay for the service, and yet a lot of you still aren't actually creating any videos for your own company. Doesn't make a lot of sense if you ask me. I'm also saying goodbye today to the A7 III. Bye-bye A7 III. It really is a great camera, and I recommend it to anyone who obviously is looking for a camera that does great autofocus and does great Sony-like stuff. It's just at the end of the day, I decided to get it really for vlogging more than anything else. And then once I had it for vlogging, I started to use it a little bit more in like my actual video work, but it just doesn't compare in image quality for me compared to the GH5s. And so I realized I was kind of sacrificing that. And then I didn't really like it for vlogging because I didn't have a flip screen and some of the things that I think are vital for a vlogging camera. See, I'm just realizing more and more the importance of choosing gear that works for the specific type of stuff that you do. And for me, obviously a lot of the stuff that I do on YouTube is talking to a camera, talking about things I'm learning, behind the scenes stuff, all those pieces. And so for me, audio is so important. And so is portability, because things are always changing and situations are changing, and I'm walking around and doing this and filming myself while I'm filming. It's not easy when you have a big bulky camera. I think it's a good principle in general to think about, is the fact that just because everyone's using a certain camera or a certain microphone or a certain situation doesn't mean that it's the right one for you. You have to decide the kind of stuff that you create, and then you got to pick a system that works for you. And don't worry about what everyone else is using. If what you're using works for what you're trying to create and it's giving you results that you're happy with, then use that. Sure, there's always going to be a better camera, a better quality, a better this or a better that, but that's never gonna change. And if you're always chasing after what everyone else has, you may be using gear that actually isn't best suited for what you do. And then it's just making your creative process harder when it might not have to be. Don't overcomplicate things. We probably all like to say the story is more important than anything, but a lot of us overstress the camera stuff and we get the best quality everything, and then we make our story lack. And I'm trying to challenge myself to do things a little differently. You know what today is? Huh? Wing Wednesday. The one thing I gotta say that I really like about winter is you get a lot more pockets, so you can put crap in it. Nothing like good wings, I'm telling you. Got my shipment. This is not sponsored at all, but these things, seriously, are great. I always like to keep these in my pocket at all times because, well, let's be honest, no one likes having a conversation with someone with bad breath. See, for the work that I do, the type of stuff that I do for this YouTube channel, I want to do as much as I can to eliminate any sort of barriers that would make me not create. And as I carried around more and more bulky cameras for vlogging and tried to get all these things that were perfect for certain situations, and I went through different lenses and all those things that I went back and forth through, I realized at the end of the day that all the decisions I was making were actually based on audio. I would choose wider lenses on some of my vlog cameras so that I could be closer to the camera so the audio would improve. And then what happened is when I actually got certain looks that I wanted using the GH5, I had to worry about autofocus. And then when I got cameras that were portable but didn't have as good quality, well then I had those issues and realized that just plain and simple, there's really no perfect situation. And here's what I like about this setup specifically is the fact that it's a very, very affordable and portable camera that you can carry around with you. To be honest, you could do this type of setup with even an iPhone or something. And you invest a little bit of money into some sort of external recorder, some sort of lav setup, and you can get really consistent, great sounding audio, and you don't have to overstress the camera side of it. Because what I'm realizing more and more is that the rig that I use for my commercial work and my wedding work and all those different pieces are not necessarily the right situations for vlogging, but it's silly in this day and age to spend the kind of money that you need to get certain rigs for YouTube when there's not a perfect YouTube kit. And if you could have a great YouTube kit like this that's essentially under $1,000 for the entire setup and still get great quality video and great quality audio, it would maybe allow you to create a little more.